Excerpts from the United Nations document A/AC.14/32. Ad hoc Committee on the Palestinian Question, Report of Subcommittee 2, 11th of November 1947. Excerpts from the introduction and conclusion are reproduced here. Copyright of the United Nations 1947. Excerpts from Introduction. Introduction. 1. Subcommittee 2 on Palestine was set up on the 23rd of October 1947, following the decision of the Ad hoc Committee on Palestine to establish two subcommittees. By virtue of the authority conferred on him by the Ad hoc Committee, the chairman nominated the following countries as members of Subcommittee 2: Afghanistan, Colombia, Egypt, Iraq, Lebanon, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Syria and Yemen. The terms of reference of the subcommittee were as follows. 1. To draw up a detailed plan for the future government of Palestine, in accordance with the basic principles expressed in the proposal submitted to the General Assembly by delegations of Saudi Arabia and Iraq, documents A/317 and A/328 respectively, and the proposal submitted to the Ad hoc Committee by the delegations of Syria, document A/14/22. 2. To incorporate this plan in the form of recommendations. Working groups were established to deal with each of these main issues, and they were constituted as follows. 1. Legal problems: Pakistan, Syria and Saudi Arabia. 2. Refugee problems: Afghanistan, Colombia and Lebanon. 3. Constitutional proposals: Egypt, Iraq and Yemen. Excerpts from conclusion. Resolution number 2. Draft resolution on Jewish refugees and displaced persons. The General Assembly, having regard to the unanimous recommendations of the United Nations Special Committee on Palestine, that the General Assembly undertake immediately the initiation and execution of an international arrangement whereby the problem of the distressed European Jews will be dealt with as a matter of extreme urgency for the alleviation of their plight and of the Palestine problem. Bearing in mind that genuine refugees and displaced persons constitute a problem which is international in scope and character, considering that the question of refugees and displaced persons is indivisible in character as regards its possible solution, considering that it is the duty of the governments concerned to make provision for the return of refugees and displaced persons to the countries of which they are nationals, being further of the opinion that where repatriation proves impossible, solution should be sought by way of resettlement in the territories of the members of the United Nations which are willing and in a position to absorb these refugees and displaced persons, considering that Palestine, despite its very small area and limited resources, has absorbed a disproportionately large number of Jewish immigrants and cannot take any more without serious injury to the economy of the country and the rights and positions of the indigenous population. Considering that many other countries with much greater area and larger resources have not taken their due share of Jewish refugees and displaced persons, having adopted a resolution number 62 brackets 1 on the 15th of December 1946, calling for the creation of an international refugees organisation with a view to the solution of the refugees problem through the combined efforts of the United Nations, and taking note of the assumption on the 1st of July 1947 by the Preparatory Commission of the International Refugee Organisation of operational responsibility for displaced persons and refugees, recommends 1. That countries of origin should be requested to take back the Jewish refugees and displaced persons belonging to them, and to render them all possible assistance to resettle in life. 2. That those Jewish refugees and displaced persons who cannot be repatriated should be absorbed into the territories of members of the United Nations in proportion to their area, economic resources, per capita income, population, and other relevant factors. 3. That a special committee of the General Assembly should be set up to recommend for acceptance of the members of the United Nations a scheme of quotas of Jewish refugees and displaced persons to be resettled to their respective territories, and that the special committee should, as far as possible, work in consultation with the International Refugee Organisation or its preparatory commission.